The ocean has been trying to tell us something. Today, I'm here to share its message. My name is Jade Chin Martinez, and this is the story of how my obsession with trash led to the largest ocean cleanup in human history. But to understand how we got here, we need to go back to where it all began. I grew up in Half Moon Bay, California, where the Pacific Ocean was my backyard and my best friend. While other kids played video games, I spent my days combing the beach, collecting debris that washed up on our shores. My parents, my father, a Silicon Valley executive, and my mother, a prominent neurosurgeon, saw this as a phase I would eventually outgrow. They were wrong. By age 12, I had created a detailed catalog of every type of marine debris I found, meticulously recording data about origin, composition, and degradation patterns. My bedroom walls weren't covered with posters of pop stars, but with charts tracking ocean current patterns and marine pollution statistics. Jade, mi amor, my mother would sigh, looking at my collection of weathered plastic bottles and fishing nets. You could be preparing for medical school instead of playing with garbage. What they didn't understand was that I wasn't playing. I was researching. Every piece of trash told a story about human consumption, ocean currents, and the interconnected nature of our global ecosystem. While my parents pushed me toward practical careers, I was developing what would later become the foundation of the Ocean Pulse system. The breaking point came during my senior year of high school. While my classmates were celebrating college acceptances to prestigious pre-med and engineering programs, I announced my decision to major in marine biology with a focus on ocean waste management. Beach cleaning isn't a career, my father declared. You're throwing away your potential. I remember looking him straight in the eye and saying, "No, Dad. I'm cleaning up everyone else's thrown-away potential." College at UC San Diego was transformative. For the first time, I was surrounded by people who understood the urgency of ocean pollution. My professors recognized something different in my approach. While others focused on studying the problem, I was obsessed with solving it. The breakthrough came during my junior year. I had been experimenting with autonomous drones equipped with AI-powered waste recognition systems, but something was missing. Traditional cleanup methods focused on surface collection, but I knew the problem went much deeper, literally and figuratively. That's when I had my epiphany. Late one night, watching bioluminescent algae along the shore, I realized we were thinking about ocean cleanup all wrong. We weren't just dealing with a waste problem, we were dealing with a dynamic system. What if we could work with the ocean's natural patterns instead of against them? I developed a new approach that combined biomimicry with advanced robotics. My system, which I called Ocean Pulse, used a network of autonomous units that mimicked marine life movements, working with currents instead of fighting them. Each unit was equipped with advanced AI that could identify and sort different types of waste, and more importantly, learn and adapt to changing ocean conditions. My undergraduate thesis caught the attention of Dr. James Morrison, a pioneer in marine robotics. He offered me a position in his research lab, along with access to resources that would help develop my ideas further. My parents' reaction was predictable. "Research assistant?" my mother exclaimed. "Your cousin just started her residency at Johns Hopkins." But I had stopped seeking their approval. 2 weeks after graduation, I was setting up my first large-scale prototype in the Pacific Ocean, my heart racing with possibility. The initial results exceeded everyone's expectations. Within 6 months, our test area showed a 40% reduction in surface plastic concentration. But what really set Ocean Pulse apart was its ability to collect microplastics, the tiny particles that traditional cleanup methods couldn't capture. Dr. Morrison was ecstatic. "Jade, this isn't just cleaning the ocean, it's healing it." Word spread quickly in the scientific community. Environmental organizations began requesting partnerships, and research institutions worldwide wanted to implement our technology. But it wasn't until the devastating tsunami of 2023 that our work caught global attention. The disaster had pushed tons of additional debris into the Pacific, threatening marine ecosystems and coastal communities. While traditional cleanup methods struggled, Ocean Pulse's adaptive system proved remarkably effective at handling the surge in waste. Our units coordinated their efforts like a school of fish, adjusting their patterns based on real-time data and changing conditions. The United Nations Environment Program took notice. Suddenly, I was being invited to speak at international conferences, consulted by government agencies, and featured in scientific journals. Ocean Pulse was being implemented across the Pacific, and similar projects were starting in other oceans. Yet my family remained skeptical. Environmental technology isn't a stable career, my father said during one of our rare phone calls. You could be running a real tech company by now. I didn't bother arguing. The results spoke for themselves. By 2024, Ocean Pulse had removed over 100,000 tons of plastic from the Pacific Ocean. Our before and after satellite images were stunning. Vast areas of the Great Pacific Garbage Patch were disappearing, replaced by clean, blue water. Which brings us to today, standing at this podium at the UN Marine Conference, facing a room full of world leaders, scientists, and yes, my family. Finally here to witness what their daughter's trash collection had become. My mother's dismissive comment still hung in the air. Jade's just collecting beach trash. But as I looked out at the sea of faces, at the screens showing real-time data from our cleanup operations, I felt only pride. The cameras flashed as I began to speak. 20 years ago, a little girl on a California beach believed that understanding ocean waste could save our seas. Today, I'm here to tell you that she was right. The Pacific Ocean isn't just a body of water, it's Earth's life support system. And we now have the tools to heal it. I clicked to the first slide, showing the devastating impact of ocean pollution. When traditional methods couldn't handle the scale of marine pollution, we had to think differently. We stopped fighting the ocean and started learning from it. For the next hour, I explained the science behind Ocean Pulse, the biomimetic design principles, the adaptive AI systems, the way we worked with natural ocean currents. But more importantly, I shared our vision. We can clean our oceans within our lifetime, I declared. Not just by removing waste, but by creating a new relationship with our marine ecosystems. The technology we needed wasn't just in computers or robots. It was in understanding and working with nature's own systems. The presentation ended with recent footage of marine life returning to cleaned areas, whales breaching in waters that had been choked with plastic just months before. The applause was thunderous. Later, at the reception, my family approached. My mother's eyes were wet with tears. "Jade," she said softly, "we were wrong." So wrong. My father, ever the technologist, had questions about the AI algorithms and robotics systems. Even my cousin, the Johns Hopkins resident, was particularly interested in the potential medical applications of our waste processing technology. "You really did save the ocean," she admitted, hugging me tightly. With trash collection, of all things. But the most meaningful moment came when a young girl approached me, clutching a marine biology textbook. "Dr. Chin Martinez," she said shyly, "I want to be like you when I grow up. My parents say picking up beach trash is a waste of time, but..." I knelt down to her level. "Let me tell you a secret," I said, smiling. "Every ocean cleanup begins with a single piece of trash, and every great discovery starts with curiosity. Never let anyone tell you your dreams are too small or too different." That evening, I stood on my hotel balcony, looking out over the Pacific Ocean. My phone was buzzing with messages, congratulations, interview requests, offers of collaboration. But my thoughts were on that long-ago beach, where a little girl believed in the power of cleaning the ocean one piece of trash at a time. The next morning, I was back on the water, monitoring our latest deployment of Ocean Pulse units. Because while awards and recognition are nice, the real reward is watching the ocean heal. Every piece of plastic removed, every marine animal saved, every coastal community protected. These are the true measures of success. My team has grown now. Young scientists from around the world come to learn our methods, each bringing their own insights and innovations. We've expanded beyond the Pacific, adapting our technology for different marine environments, from the Atlantic Ocean to the Mediterranean Sea. The work isn't always easy. We face challenges from climate change, political opposition, and economic pressures. But every time I see satellite images of our cleaned areas spreading across once polluted waters, I know we're on the right path. Last week, I received a package from my parents. Inside was my old childhood notebook, filled with detailed drawings of ocean currents and waste collection systems. They'd kept it all these years. Tucked inside was a note. "Dear Jade, we kept this to remind us of how wrong we were. Your trash collection wasn't just playing, it was research. It was innovation. It was love for our planet. We're sorry we didn't see it sooner. You didn't just clean the ocean, you showed us a new way of seeing it. Love, Mom and Dad." I keep that notebook in my research vessel now, alongside our latest monitoring equipment and satellite imagery. It reminds me that great achievements often grow from small beginnings, that passion shouldn't be measured by others' expectations, and that sometimes the most powerful way to change the world is to pick up that first piece of trash and keep going. As I write this, I'm preparing for another day at sea. My hands will get wet, my clothes will smell of salt and sun, and somewhere, another part of the ocean will begin to heal. My mother might still think I'm just collecting beach trash, but I know better. I'm restoring hope, one wave at a time. And to that little girl on her beach, cataloging debris and believing in the power of clean oceans, you were right all along. Keep collecting, keep dreaming, keep believing. The world needs your kind of dedication. Today, when people ask me what I do, I don't say I'm a marine biologist or an environmental scientist or even an ocean cleanup expert. I tell them I'm an ocean whisperer, because that's what my work is really about, listening to the language of the sea, understanding the rhythm of marine systems, and helping nature heal itself. The Pacific is recovering, faster than anyone thought possible. Our method has been adopted by conservation projects in over 40 countries. The United Nations has set ambitious goals for ocean cleanup using our technology. And every day, more people are beginning to understand what that little girl in Half Moon Bay knew all along. That trash collection isn't just about cleaning up. It's about preserving our planet's future. My family now jokes that they should have invested in my beach cleaning business years ago. But this was never about money or success in the traditional sense. It was about proving that passion, when nurtured and developed with dedication, can blossom into solutions the world desperately needs. As I prepare for my next presentation at the Global Climate Summit, I think about all the other dreamers out there, the ones being told their interests are impractical, their passions just hobbies. To them, I say, hold on to your dreams. Nurture them like precious marine life, because you never know which beach cleanup might grow into a solution that changes the world. The Pacific is breathing again, and somewhere in Half Moon Bay, on my childhood beach, new experiments are taking root. My niece has taken over my old collection spots, much to everyone's amusement. But this time, no one's calling it a waste of time. After all, they know better now. Sometimes the biggest changes start with the smallest pieces of trash. And as for me, I'm still collecting beach trash. And I wouldn't have it any other way. 10 years have passed since that UN conference. The Ocean Cleanup Project has exceeded our wildest expectations. Over 70% of the Great Pacific Garbage Patch has been successfully cleared using our method. Marine life populations are rebounding, and coastal communities report healthier, cleaner waters than they've seen in generations. My old beach in Half Moon Bay has been preserved as an educational center, where schoolchildren come to learn about marine ecology and start their own cleanup initiatives. My parents lead workshops there now, proudly explaining how their daughter's trash collection revolutionized ocean conservation. The little girl who approached me at the UN conference? She's now one of our most promising young researchers, developing new applications of our technology for deep-sea cleanup. When I see her working on our vessels, that same look of determination in her eyes that I had at her age, I know our legacy is in good hands. Last month, I received the highest honor of my career. Not another scientific award or UN recognition, but a letter from a small island community in the Pacific. It contained a piece of beach glass and these words: Dr. Jade, you helped us remember what our ancestors knew, that the ocean is not a dumping ground, but a living system to be protected. This glass was found on our beach, the last piece of trash and waters that your technology helped clean. Keep it, and remember that your work has created waves of hope across the world. That piece of glass now sits in a special place in my laboratory, alongside the first pieces of trash I ever collected. It reminds me that every great achievement starts with a simple act of care, believing that something small can grow into something magnificent. To anyone reading this who's being told their dreams are too small, their interests too strange, or their passions impractical, remember my story. Remember that the world needs all kinds of minds, all kinds of dreams, all kinds of solutions. And sometimes, just sometimes, collecting beach trash can save an ocean. Thanks for watching. See you again in the next video. Stay stunned.